When you first arrive at college, it can be intimidating to find your footing with professors, peers, and your newfound environment. There's an overwhelming amount of fresh information flying at you at all angles at all times. While it's nerve wracking to face these things, I think there's a great solution that can help begin to interconnect you with all of the new things that surround you. Today, I'm going to tell you why I encourage everyone to grab the bull by the horns and embrace the change by saying yes to new opportunities. This is the model that I followed the entirety of my freshman year, and I can confidently say that it has led me to prosperity in my academics, my social life, alongside just to my general experience at West Virginia University. I've always been extremely competitive, largely in my education and social life. While the pressure can be a lot at times, I have found that keeping myself busy with multiple responsibilities helps me stay much more consistent with my work and daily life. When I arrived at WVU, I did my best to meet as many people as I could in order to begin constructing relationships. I always spoke to new people in class and tried to find common ground that could interconnect me with my fellow students. This led to me being much more intertwined in both of my programs in fashion design and political science, as there was hardly ever a classroom that I could enter where I did not know at least one other student. These relationships additionally expanded beyond the classroom, as it's impossible to not see people that you have classes with around campus. I really enjoyed this because it gave me the chance to have people to know while I was going throughout my day to day life. It was difficult for me to go into public spaces like the Mountain Lair, food court, or even just walking around the Evansdale or the downtown campus and not find someone that I knew from classes. I also found that my peers eventually saw me as more of a friend rather than just someone who was in the class with them. This led to me almost always being greeted with smiles and friendly faces and at least exchanging a few words. This ultimately made my experience so much more positive because if I did not have all of those little moments with my peers, I would have gone through a lot of my days alone here. So it was a lot better that I had all of these mutual friendly connections, as it made my day to day life so much better. I also didn't allow these behaviors to stop with peers, as I additionally worked extremely hard to grow relationships with my professors and people that work within my program. By having a positive image with these people that were in higher placements than me, I found that it was much more easy to find access to new academic opportunities that could advance my professional repertoire. In class, I clawed as hard as I possibly could to be known as a good student. I was diligent about speaking up in class, turning in assignments on time, and being reliable if asked to assist with additional tasks. In my introductory courses here in the fashion program, for example, I forged strong relationships with my professors by going the extra mile. If there were options that I felt were the easy road, I always made sure to skip those and to opt for the more difficult one, as I noticed that my professors could always take note whenever I was taking the things that were more of a challenge to me, as opposed to doing the things that were light work and easy. I was also rarely late or absent, and I always took advantage of opportunities outside of class whenever they arose to me. This led to me being well respected by my professors and helped me gain many of the amazing opportunities that I'm now participating in. For example, following my first semester with my professor of my masculine fashion class, she noticed that I was always one of the most diligent students to speak up in class. This eventually led her to recommend me for the 3 year paid research assistant position that I am now currently working and have been since last summer. A similar thing happened with the professor of my introduction to fashion business and design concepts of dress classes. This professor noticed that I always knew the answers in class and that I was very diligent to speak up and be known in the classroom. This is actually what eventually led her to nominate me for the PSA program. Because of my constant busyness and my academics and social life, I rarely found myself facing some mental health struggles that I have faced in the past during high school. I was too busy being proud of my extreme work ethic and my newfound successes to be overstressed by some small things that may have worried me before. This is exactly why I encourage everyone to take chances and grab at new things during their college years. Even if the benefit is not extremely evident up front, the positive impact that participation can have on you cannot really be measured. If you're struggling with making friends, understanding coursework, and feeling in control of your day to day life, I really encourage you to get involved and active in the things that you are doing. Even things as simple as answering questions in class can help you become more noticeable, which will eventually lead you to conversations and relationships that can help you flourish in spaces with less hardship.